Hello, everyone. Squee here with the entire Rifts gang. Kriana, Piff, Inferno, Burn.
You bet.
Hi.
No Rachel, though.
Oh, Rachel. Not today.
So you
Oh.
lied. Way to start an episode, Squee.
Kriana, maybe I'm just in character, all right?
And so,
Maybe I'm role playing.
anywho, we have a few things to show you, and then we're gonna get started with the campaign here.
Yes, we do. We have a few fan arts to show you this week. This week, it's weird. Rifty Fell has been incredibly busy, but it's been busy with people posting what songs they think fit this character or this mood, which is fantastic, but it's not much that you can show. I still suggest you guys go take a look, because you can be like, oh yeah, I can see why they think that song would fit Nora, but not Mila, with all the angst. So, first,
Wow.
yeah, well,
Strike two there, Squee.
Yeah.
Strike two.
Yep, right in the heart. Right in the heart feels. Okay.
all right. So this one's from Mackenzie. This was when we were about to fight the Splagorth, and we're like, so good news, pheasant. Bad news, Splagorth. And then we've got this is from FK Bone. This is just a image they had of Tom being able to throw fireballs in the shape of a phoenix. So if you could get on that, Burn, teaching Tom to do that.
I can teach Tom to do that? Sweet.
I'm just saying, it'd be kind of cool if you don't just throw a firebolt, but you throw a fire phoenix. Huh?
Yeah.
Anywho,
And then we have another one. I love this one from Kinsey, which is Lee. Look, Lee, he's totally back. Look at him, he's fine. It's just like old
He's okay.
times.
don't mind that black parasite on his neck.
Nonsense.
He's fine.
That's,
If anything, he's better. He's not drinking.
Yeah.
We don't talk about that. He's sensitive about it.
Oh, this will sober him up.
Brains.
This will actually just sober him up of any liquid in his body, but
You know, actually,
everything.
even with that, I still give it a 50-50 chance.
This is true.
Lee might find a way. You find a catatonic Lee still smelling like alcohol. Like, what? How?
He brews it in his own belly. He lets it come out.
Anything in riffs, huh?
All right, yeah, anything. So that is it. That is all for the fantastic contributions from our dear viewers.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll get started here. I, as a GM, we left on a pretty interesting note, and we didn't divulge it too much in full because Piff's internet went kablooey. So before I start, the scene I was going to start the session off with was Tyra's arrival. However, there might be something that you guys want to discuss in regards to Mariah, or there might be other scenes that you might want to engage, because I mentioned before it'll be a couple hours before he shows up. So if there's anything that you guys want to initiate, or even just you guys as players you want to talk about, feel free to do so, and then just let me know when you're ready for, Tyrath to show up, and we can get some scenes moving along.
I do have an idea, or something that in PC interaction I'd like to have, but I'd like to let the others go first if they want to do anything.
Okay.
I can't think of anything at the moment.
Okay. Piffy, Kriana?
Mariah's just going to be hanging by the pool.
Gotcha. Still with that gun, too, right?
Yep.
Okie dokie.
Not threatening, just kind of there.
She just has it, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Fair enough.
Before my internet came out, cut out, I heard a group meeting.
Oh god, you know nothing after that, do you?
No.
Oh.
Let's fill Piff in.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't y'all
Who wants
talk
to
at
do it?
once.
Okay. Essentially, this is a third psyche, a third personality in Mila.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. She is what seems to be the protector of all of them. And we essentially only have a limited amount of time to get back to that cyberdoc that we met back in Parents Post, the one that was extremely interested in Mila. Because he can, not really fix it, but maybe help help with the symptoms of what is going on, maybe revert something. I don't know. I don't know specifically.
He did it in the first place.
Yes, he is the one that did it in the first place.
Oh.
And
So-
we found out a lot of backstory. First of all, it was done willingly. Nora asked for it to be done.
Because she wanted another life.
Right. She wanted to forget what had happened, and Mila was her chance to start anew, basically.
Yeah.
Mariah has stated that Mila/Nora is getting worse, and she's hoping that the doctor can make it better. And if that doesn't work, she's cool. It's fine. She has another solution, which involves a gun and a mouth and a trigger, and we don't want that solution.
Yeah.
So, the where we are right now is Bear's not doing well.
Bear is upset because he wants Nora back, right? He doesn't want any of the other two. He thinks Nora's sick, and he wants to go to the Cyberdoc as well to get her to help. But he was distressed when Mariah told him that Nora wanted that, and Mila's there for a reason. He did not take that very well.
Nope.
And we, as a group, the conclusion we've come to right now is, okay, we need to get her to him as quick as possible. Obviously, we don't want bullet times in Happy Teeth. So we have two options. One, we might talk to Tyrath about if he's so pleased at what he finds, maybe giving us a day or two to get there and get back. Or probably the more likely solution is get what he wants done ASAP so that we can finish our deal and he can throw us back over to Parents Post permanently. Or, whatever, because the deal was he then sends us back. So that's kind of where we are right now. Oh, and it looks like Mariah's going to be hanging around for a while.
Okay.
One last thing I'll just mention as to the DM as well. I know you want to get to Parents Post quickly, right? Which is probably why you want to ask Tyrath for assistance, which is a great idea. Just to let you know as well, travel in Rifts is hazardous, right? But you could also, since you know where you are now, especially Patrick knows exactly where you guys are, you could always try to trek across the way and go to Parents Post by land as well. Of course, it's not as expedient, but it's always an option, right?
How
So
I know we're more than 500 miles away, and
Yeah.
So let's say the behemoth, what you said, moves at like 60 miles an hour if it's going on even or decent ground.
yeah, I think go up to 80 actually, but yeah, that's if it's in decent ground and everything like that. Yeah.
So
yeah.
we'd be talking at least a week travel time.
Oh, at least, not including delays due to terrain or, you run into things, right? So I would say it'd be closer to probably 2
I would think
that you guys estimate.
And of course you guys can disagree or agree. I would think that failing a quick hop jump back through a time portal or something, finishing Tyrath's goal would probably be a faster solution, because we could probably get that done in less than 2 weeks, theoretically.
Yeah. Theoretically.
Out of
Okay,
character, yeah. I think that's a good way of going about it right now.
Groovy. So, sorry, Piff, do you have any other questions for what you missed or questions about the situation?
Oh boy. Well, it's a lot to take in, but
Yeah. Yeah, because you didn't have a week to process this. We just kind of told you.
Yeah.
So, let's see. All right. So no, I think the situation hasn't really changed too much from what I was thinking last time, so I think it's good to continue, I suppose.
Okay, so Squee, you said you had a scene in mind with Al and X amount of people. So when we do that,
Sure. Well, anyone's welcome to come, but Al's going to be worried and go check on Bear because he was not doing well, or he looked like he was not in a good place.
I don't know. Okay, so Al's gonna try to find Bear. Anyone else?
Um. I think Patrick would probably be in the same room. I'm assuming probably one of the lounge rooms with the people who have the
Things
parasite
on
on them.
them? Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna be with them. All right, and Bear's not gonna be in that room, so you won't be there. All right, Tom. I know Mariah's just gonna stick by the pool. Is that right, Kriana?
Yep.
Okay,
I think-
Tom, you're gonna
I
go with
think
Al?
Burns' internet went out again.
Oh, yeah.
Okie dokie. Well, we'll just wait for him to come on back, but in the meantime, we'll start this scene.
Okay.
Al, Burn is... Burn. Burn is not in his room. Bear is not actually anywhere on the behemoth. You'll be able to actually find him. Just as a quick reminder, you guys did stop at a crest of a lightly forest hill. And he is about 100 feet or so behind the behemoth, sitting on just a little small rocky outcropping, looking at the landscape below, the ley line that courses across the terrain, and that small village that's far off into the distance. And you find him just sitting there.
Al would go near him, but wouldn't say anything for a while, kind of trying to... he's unsure exactly the best way to approach Bear, because they don't know each other that well.
That's true. Bear is quiet and seems to be lost in his own mind. He does notice your arrival, but he doesn't acknowledge your presence, and instead just continues to stare out towards the wilderness.
Al will eventually say, it seemed like you took what Mariah had to say rather hard.
It takes a while, but finally Bear replies with 30 years. Over 30 years. I have known Nora. I have seen her as a baby. I have seen her grow. I was there every step of the way. Everything that was her past and everything that was my past in Penshaw is gone. I thought I lost Nora, and then I thought I found Nora, but I didn't find Nora. I have come to understand it. I have found a woman who looks like my friend, but someone did something to her mind. How would you feel in that situation?
I'm not sure.
She needs to be cured, he says evenly.
Bear, I'm not sure she can be.
She will be cured, Bear says again, more resolute.
People change, Bear, and you can't change them back to what they used to be.
People change spiritually. People change in personality. People don't change by putting probes inside of their skull. That is not natural progression. That is an abhorrent practice. If you do not understand that, then you do not deserve to look after her.
I understand it was her choice. I am not saying that what she did was right, or that she was even in the right mind when she did it. But to deny her her own free will, is that something you're willing to do?
She is sick, Bear says.
Yes.
You say she said these things, but it was whatever that Mariah thing was saying. Is that truly Nora? Is she telling the truth? All I know is I knew Nora back then, and I come back and she's changed because of things inside of her head. Get rid of the things inside of her head, and maybe she'll come back.
Maybe. Or maybe you'll kill her.
I will not kill her. We will be smart about it, Bear says.
Bear, if there is a way to cure her, I want it more than anyone.
Great. Good, he says.
But you may have to accept the fact that this is who she is now, and she will never be the Nora you knew again. Can you do that?
No, he says. She will be cured.
And if that's not what she needs?
I will go to the ends of the earth. I will die attempting to help her.
So you would sacrifice anything for her?
Not anything. Just myself.
Would you sacrifice what you want for what she needs?
Do you ask the cancer what it wants? Do you ask the virus what its feelings or its free will is? No.
The implants are not sentient beings. They did not choose to be put in there. Nora did.
Exactly. They are tools. And that butcher put them in her brain.
He is not
Maybe
a butcher.
she made a mistake.
Perhaps.
Maybe she wasn't clear. Maybe she regrets it. Maybe Nora is still down there screaming for help. I do not know. All I know is that she is not the same, and she clearly is not happy. Therefore, something needs to change.
And all I'm asking is, if she's not regretting it, if it wasn't a mistake, if the Nora you knew made that choice, are you prepared to accept that?
We are done with this conversation, Elf. Do you understand? You are either going to help us or you are not.
I understand.
Please leave me be.
And Al would leave him.
Okie doke. Alrighty. Anything else? Or shall we have our next scene be with Tyrath's timely arrival?
I think we all could use some Tyrath right about now.
Okie dokie.
Yeah.
Okie dokie. Oh boy. All right. So, without much pomp and circumstance, as is befitting a creature such as Tyrath, a small electric hum in the air is the only thing that warns you that the lizard mage, the finely cloaked lizard mage, once again appears on the center of your dining room table. Stepping off, his reptilian eyes peer around, falling upon the individuals that have those black chitinous parasites on their necks and heads. He gives a little before looking over to Patrick. Patrick, at this point, where is that staff with that eyeball in it?
I believe it's probably in the storage closet where Tom put it.
Okay, so he wouldn't see that. So, without saying a word to you, Patrick, he steps off the table past the three individuals, one being Lee, of course, past you, past whomever else is there, and he exits out the side of the behemoth, in which he gazes upon that strong eel-like body, that monstrous creature, that Splagorth, attached to the remnants of the barge, still smoking on the ground. He peers at that again and emits another little With that, he spins his head around. Patrick, would you follow Tyrath? Would anyone follow Tyrath outside for him to speak with someone?
I would follow him, but wouldn't say
Okay.
anything.
I would not follow him, but I would immediately go to the closet, or not the closet, but the storage room, cast Mind Block again, and grab the staff.
Okie dokie. Due to mind block, no voices emit inside of your head. And then what do you do with the staff?
I'll bring it out.
Okay. All right. So, Mariah, are you still up at the pool there?
Yep.
Okay. All right. As Tyrath is finishing examining the corpse of the creature that you left, he turns his head around and that's when Tom will have left the behemoth and went outside, and he would put his eyes would gaze on the staff, the eye staff, for lack of a better word. Although it is not prudent to have too many agreements between allies at once, I would like to suggest a exchange of services. I would like that staff, and I would like this body and its contraption for my own personal study. In exchange, I am willing to educate you on what has happened and what you think these beings are, and assist you with the problem you have inside of your eating hall. Are we agreed?
Al?
Al would look to the others and
I think we have a bit more pressing issues than knowledge at this point. Of course, we would like to help.
Kinsman, what is more pressing than knowledge? He says with a bit of a smile.
Oh,
You may continue.
well, there's of course the nice people who are have the parasites on them, and
Yes.
it looks like one of our friends needs to go to a doctor, a very specific doctor, and it will take us a few weeks to get there, and I am unsure about what kind of time we have before something bad happens.
And what would you like me to do in regards to that? Tyrath asks.
Well, I know that we have already asked to do one thing for for your services for the teleporting.
Yes.
I think we should finish that here if we do have enough time. We would. I know I would like to help the others get the parasites off of them. I'm sure that's part of this deal. I guess a little bit more information about where we are going to find this moss might be a bit more important, I suppose.
Kinsman, knowledge is very important, and I will educate you on a few facts you may have forgotten. When we first met and agreed on our alliance, I made it very clear that I was not a genie who granted wishes at will. We both assist each other, and in doing so, grow more stronger. Therefore, when you contacted me saying that you befelled a Splagorth, despite my own busy schedule, I came here out of pure curiosity. A part of the knowledge I will grant to you is how to rid your individuals inside of your robot, how to remove the things on their person. In addition, I will enlighten you as to what you really killed. The problem with your friend, although unfortunate, cannot be resolved by me right now. You are correct. One should always finish a deal previously before starting a new. That is how allies treat each other, yes?
And Patrick will nod.
Yes. But take heart. Tyrath gestures to the northwest. You are very close to the moss I seek. The town, or what used to remain of the town, is the location, I believe, of these creatures. Therefore, I do not see any reason why you would be delayed too long. And if your friend is in urgent care, all the more reason to be expeditious.
And Patrick will nod the same, almost level-headed way at this point.
Good. Well, then. And Tyrath plods his 10-foot form over towards Tom and extends a jagged hand out towards the human. And he says, "May I have the staff?"
Of course. Be careful, though. It will try to speak to you.
I am counting on it.
Tom will hand him the staff.
Yeah, Tyrath curls his clawed fingers There we go. What's on your fingers that are like teeth?
Those are talons.
Talons? No, his claws, his clawed hands around the grip, and he looks at the eye for a moment, and then he walks over to the carcass, and he says, I understand why you think you killed a Splagorth. Many individuals assume that these creatures are that alien race. Unfortunately, for the ignorant, that is not true. This race is a minion of the Splagorth, particularly skilled in slavery and capture. They were a long race conquered by the Splagorth and has become such integral to their operations. The name of their race is a deeply held secret. Therefore, most individuals simply call them slavers or Splagorth minions. The parasites that are on the people you are worried about are easily removed. If you use something to protect your hands, or a pair of implements to make sure their flesh does not touch yours, you can remove them without harm to either themselves or their victims. I will give you one last bit of advice. Do not, under any circumstance, allow them to crawl onto you. They are voracious feeders. I will tolerate a few more questions from you mortals before I will be off continuing my tasks.
If you would be so kind to partake, to give another piece of information, there was some armored beings with them as well. Look like a strange sort of power armor.
That, if it was in the... What were they fighting and serving this Splagorth slaver?
Yes, and they also had fire, maybe plasma axes.
Yes, I do know them. They are known, their race's name is known to those who seek it. They are known as Kitani, an ape-like race, not too different from your own, that used to have several worlds under their own conquest. Very advanced technology and weaponry is their call sign. However, that advanced technology was no solace to them when the Splagorth waged war with the Kitani. The Kitani, although a brave and proud race, fell very quickly and became yet another minion, a battle thrall for the Splagorth. However, they served the Splagorth happily, for they have been able to conquer new worlds and expend amount of power they would have never had as free folk. Is there anything else you wish to know of them?
I do have a question. Are the Splagorth prone to seek vengeance, would we have to worry about them coming after us for... And he kind of motions to the wreckage.
For this, it is a disappointing loss, and I'm sure rather embarrassing for a species seen as cattle to destroy one of their slavers. However, the Splagorth, as they are not foolish and would not spend additional resources, I would assume, for petty vengeance. The Splagorth reside upon Atlantis, having dominion over that entire continent that rose from the sea a scant 200 of your years ago. They, from my understanding, have no interest in conquest, but simply uses this world as a nexus. In fact, if the Splagorth are anything, they are master traders, and in their capital of Splin, there is a vast interdimensional market. A market in which they proclaim that anything can be found and anything can be sold. I have been there on a few occasions, and it has served my purposes well. Since you offer no threat to their trade empire or the dozens, if not hundreds of worlds they conquer, to say you are a speck of dust in the wind is but a exaggeration. You are less than that. You will not find their wrath. It is unlikely, Tyra says.
Al will nod.
Okay.
I will permit a few more questions, mortals.
These parasites, do you think they could penetrate reinforced armor?
No. Their biology would not allow for such a thing. They can pierce thick flesh and hide, but nothing synthetic. Nothing metallic.
Okay.
I guess out of character, I have nothing else.
Yeah, I can't.
Out of character, did he say that you would give us information about where we were going?
You said that we were close,
Yeah.
and if we had any more
We were
questions,
close.
we could ask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What exactly will we be facing, these creatures that guard the moss? What are they?
I do not know exactly. I do know they are not under my purview of interest, merely the fungus and moss that they grow. I do know they are an alien race, and they are very good diggers. They harvest their moss in certain circumstances, and they are drawn to magic. It is that combination that interests me. I have a theory that the fungus that they harvest is magically imbued, and if that is the case, I would like as many samples as you could provide as a part of our agreement. Anything else you would have to discover on your own. If you were to find any other interesting facts about them, anything about their physiology or religion or society, and you feel that is applicable, then please feel free to provide that information to me when you also hand over the fungus.
Okay. Out of character, I think that's it for me.
Okay. Out of character, any other questions for anybody?
Nope.
No.
Also, for the heads up, when I said this, like the market called Splin, the Splin dimensional market, I know I stuttered only because it's spelled SPL, I think EIN or something like that. I have to look it up real quick.
Spleen.
But yeah, exactly. I was like, I almost said spleen, and some people do pronounce it spleen, and I'm like, I don't want to call it spleen, so it's splin. So that's why I stuttered. So I didn't just make it up off the top of my head. It's a part of Rift's lore. I just I didn't want to call it spleen. All right,
Fair
but if
enough.
that's it, no more questions. Last call.
Palladium.
Yeah.
I think I'm good.
Okay.
I would rather not take up any more of your time. You seem busy.
Very wise, kinsman. There might be hope for you yet. I trust you will not contact me until you have the fungus. Am I correct, dear allies?
I will not.
Tom will nod his head.
Yeah. Well,
Good. Best of luck, Tyrath says. And before he goes, he steps upon the remnants of the barge of the Splagor slaver. And in a flash, a bright blue flash, and the sizzle of ozone still crisps in the air, both him and the barge and the corpse are completely gone. So,
How is our guide friend taking all of this?
she didn't know. Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me about Miss Annette.
Oh,
Let's
Bear too,
see.
right? He's never seen.
Well,
it.
no, Bear wasn't around for that,
Oh, okay.
which is fine. Bear wasn't around for that. I'm just trying to think what Annette would do and where she would be. Because she was shaken up pretty bad about the Splagor slaver. We're going to say she wasn't there for Tyrath's arrival. Not because I don't want to deal with her reaction, but because I'm thinking her character would want some time to collect herself. Because if you do recall, she was... after the battle, she didn't take part in that battle. She was found inside the Behemoth Pale. It's fair to assume that she was too scared to fight. And so we'll say that soon after you decide to depart, or we'll say about 30, 45 minutes after Tyrath leaves, she returns out of the woods, mentioning that she just wanted to do some scouting to make sure those individuals in the power armor were truly gone, to make sure they weren't still tracking, us or skulking about. Although you feel that might not be the entire truth, that's the story that she's sticking with.
All right. So let's deal with these parasites.
Okie dokie.
All right.
So, both the gentleman, the older gentleman, in the Coalition body armor, he is, I believe, off to the side since he suffered some pretty cardiac arrest. He's now relatively stable, so to speak. But would it be fair that he would be in the medical bay, or would he be lying down on one of the couches there, or
I
he
would
be out?
certainly be keeping him in. I would thought everyone was in the medical bay, but
Okay.
it's especially
all right.
him.
Well,
yeah.
we can say everyone's in the medical bay, definitely, because you did hook them up to some saline, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're all there. They have not moved 1 inch. They have not said anything. Their eyes are they're not glazed over, they're clear, but there's like nothing. It's just, you know, the wheel's turning, but the hamster's dead. They don't register. Their pupils don't dilate. Nothing. While these little black chitinous 8-legged things are attached to, once again, Lee's neck, the cheek of the cat-like DB, and the forehead of the Coalition, the man in Coalition armor.